This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Next up, it's our main event. Chris Jericho is going to retain the WWF/WCW World title, pinning Steve Austin in 21 minutes and 34 seconds. Meltzer said it was a total chop fest, and they were hard chops. In a sense, this was the best match as a standalone match, but all the ref bumps after a match with all the ref bumps really took it down. They worked 21 minutes of a very physical match. Lots of suplexes, but man, just crazy bumps for the referees all over the place. At one point, though, after Austin has caught him with a stunner and there's no referee, Hogan, Hall, and Nash come down. Austin's going to pound on all of them at first. They all bump for him. Meltzer even says Nash hasn't worked so hard in years. Hogan tried, but it was comical seeing he and Austin miss time brawling. Finally, Hall gave Austin a screwy-looking stunner, and Austin got the pin. Or Jericho got the pin, sorry. After the match, they continued to pound on Austin. Hall gave him a second and better stunner. Austin was laid out, and they spray-paint NWO on him to end the show. This requires some massive sense of disbelief that 50 wrestlers backstage who all hate these guys are twiddling their thumbs while they do 3-on-1 and humiliate the company's biggest star. But it did work at a time for WCW when they had 100 guys backstage. And after the pay-per-view ended in the arena, they all left. When Austin recovered, they sent Hall back by himself to the ring to get a stunner, and the show ended live with Austin pouring beer all over Hall. Apparently the plan was for Hall to take the stunner, but the pouring beer was impromptu. Nash was really upset about it and complained to Jim Ross after the show that Hall was on anti-alcohol medicine, that the smell or taste of beer makes him vomit, and he blamed Austin for purposefully dumping the beer on his face, which nearly made him ill. And he couldn't close his mouth because he's selling the stunner. At least that was Nash's story anyway. 3 stars. Listen, I guess in the context of we're going to have to finish with the NWO doing something with Austin. We got to establish this stuff with Scott Hall. Maybe that makes sense when you look back and think, hey, why did we start with the NWO? You can sort of book in the NWO here. I get it. But I think you and I both agree, maybe just a segment before or 2 segments before would have worked better. But this is what we went with. You watched it this week for the first time in a long time. What'd you think? Would you have done this any differently if you had it to do over again, at least the main event piece?
I wouldn't have opened the show with it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have opened the show with them. And again, you know, the end was the end, and the end was the story that we were trying to tell. The overall show kind of not that great. Obviously we've done a lot better, and this wasn't one of those nights. I think it was trying to serve way too many masters in one show. A lot of big stories that had big tentpole, big moments in them that, to me, just watching it back seemed a little clunky and, just out of sync, out of step.
Yeah. Well, listen, we've talked about the whole abuse thing a lot. I don't want to rehash that. If you want to hear me and Bruce fight about it, it's over in the NWO episode. But, you know, it's even said here, this is impromptu. That wasn't part of the plan. Austin probably didn't have all the information. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.